personal things, right? We have, that's labeled personal. Then we created another identity into a work life. Some work life, this is what yesterday was, right? Here, work life turns into personal life, so I will just say I'll create a void. At some point, I did say that there is a void between what it is that you do, right? And you have this. And some people say, other people say, everybody says that there is a space between personal and work, right? So that is created within this structure, mechanism. Subconscious is bubbling up, coming up through this way, and then we start, people would call it, you know, your 18-year-old self, the 22-year-old self, past, you know, so these things start happening. What starts happening within this communication, right? Because it's thinking. That's what it is. It's thoughts. Within these thoughts, it's like I said a word, one word, that it's important to recognize, or it's important to start with, which is what? You guys remember that from yesterday? Okay, to observe. Okay, witness. Because once again, you go, well, what is it that I do? What is it that you want me to do? Recognize. What do you mean? Recognize what? The trash can, taking this out? No, recognize that the fact that there are two, there's one that is speaking, there's one that's listening. Who is who? There's two. Then we may realize that there might be within the one that's talking, there's a silence layer, and once when the silence layer is understood and is aware of, there realizes that there's another, that voice is within, is the voice of the other personality, which is personal, work, and all these things within work that you do, and all these things without work, and all these personal things, children, within that is, you know, a wife, within that is this, so you have all these characters, and then you go deeper down, and then we start talking, like I said, 18-year-old self, 5-year-old self, and all these selves that get exposed when you realize, where does it start? Observing. It's not a choice, because they don't know, because it's conditioning, because it's habit, 40 some 30 some years of habit. When you don't know, is it really a choice? That's why it's very difficult to say words, but the only way for you to understand is to discover yourself. I can't, right? So it's just like, well, how do I do it? Observe. Okay. So now that we have identified the fact that you're in the space and we have movement, and within this movement, there's like narration. Okay. There is, as you're doing something, so there's many forms with this, and there's narration. As you're doing something, you have the voice telling you what it is that you're doing and this, right? And then you have, like, there's another one to where, what else are we doing at this? You telling me is a form of, or communicating to me what it is they express. There's worry, let's say. You are predicting outcomes of all these different situations. Judging ourselves, I fucked up. What a fucking piece of shit. On and on and on, right? Because of the fact that it's, they are distracted. Most people don't even know what's happening because they're distracted. But the commentary would be like, I didn't know the ceiling fan had a motor and it hums. But once when I hear it, now I can't unhear it. It's the same as the commentaries. It's non-stop. It's constant. You can't make it stop. If you try to make it stop and push it, what do you create is what I call the void, right? You create this space that we call space, that we visualize space. So there's a lot within this commentary, there's feeling that comes up. Anger, frustration, irritation, happiness. Because also too, this mechanism is designed to make us feel what? Safe. Therefore we come up with beliefs, character, right? Character, this character. You're a character, you're a character, you're a character, I'm a character. This separation of this space. I don't want to feel that way again. I felt like this, so it's just defending everything to keep away the what? I don't want to feel that way again. That's not a good sensation. That's ultimately what was going on within the silence. When we look at the map from yesterday, we have 3D. What can we interpret this as?
Reality.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Reality. What is this layer? That when you came here, you dropped your dog off. When you came in here, you're in my dojo. Your dog's in my dojo, you're all in my dojo, you're all in my awareness. Okay? We come in to the control center. What is this?
Noise.
Okay. Words, noise, words. Okay, but what is it though?
I would say a distraction from, what's the word I'm looking for? It's all distractions from being able to just be neutral, be in the present.
Okay, so what is it? What is that? It's one word.
I don't know,
That could be could be different words, but it's all pointing to the same word.
Yeah. I don't know,
I've said it a few times.
Space.
No. What is this? You're right, Russian, but because when I say space, what truly am I saying? Emptiness. I say space so you recognize, let's say, black with stars. Right? But what is space? When I say space, what is space?
Nothing.
Which is life. That's what I'm saying space is. It's life. It's what do you mean? What's life? Existence. What do you mean? It's soul. Well, what do you mean? It's God. Once again, if I say God, whoa, easy now. Easy now. Why is that? Because of the shit, not shit, sorry, that's a bad term, but of things that people have been told, but never discovered themselves. When we start talking about intellectual knowledge, information is all unstable, Conditioning is more stable than intellect. That's when we use the words conditioning, it's habit. It's body movement, doing things without what?
Thinking.
Thinking. It's conditioning. You're conditioning your body. The body is different than the brain, even though it's one character, but dimensionally, it's separate. But what is this? Right here. I understand it's life, correct. But we can't throw out terms if we don't truly understand it.
I mean, I think it's distraction from nothingness.
Okay, which is what?
I mean, it's pretty much it. It's distraction.
Okay.
It's keeping you from being.
Okay, what's your...
Ego.
Thank you. Which is what? Which is Russian, which is Joshua, which is Dylan, which is Jake, which is sensei, spaghetti, hey, you know? Ego. What is all of this, all these thoughts, worry, planning, practicing?
Like predict the future,
Okay.
predict reality.
Okay. And how is it that you do that? By thinking yes, yes, yes. But what is it that we're trying to do? Because in this, keep in mind, so practicing.
Manipulate.
Okay.
Manipulate.
Which is what? Hold on. We're trying to, in this reality, we're here. All this is all here. Remember, this is life. Within this, we're trying to do this and then this to do what to this? Manipulate. Okay, but what is the word?
Make it come true. Like make it.
Oh
make
my
it happen.
gosh.
Control it.
There. It's right. It's on the map. We're trying to control. We're trying to predict. We're trying to manipulate. We have all of this trying to control this. Who is this? When I say all of this, who is this?
We're trying to we're trying to control the being or the soul by, or like, so you say the roommate. You got the being, the soul, and then you got your character, Jake Stinnett. All right. Jake Stinnett is trying to control this person, this roommate, this soul, by all of that there, because the character Jake Stinnett cannot understand what the soul understands.
Okay. Do you want to collaborate on that, Dylan, or
When he just said that, it reminded me of our conversation yesterday on like knowledge and then discovery. Like the knowledge is there, but it's a matter of discovering it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when it all circles back to where we talked about observing, okay, and understanding truly your true nature. So who sees? Who is looking? What is behind the eyes? Not the eyes.
That would be the brain. That would be their character.
Okay. What if I present it like this? Being is life, consciousness, awareness, life. This is looking out as a character who thinks that it's the character, who thinks that everything that it sees and everything that it is separate from that. So this character, this mechanism, which is we've talked, is the brain. It thinks that it is that, which is what? Jake. It thinks that it is those thoughts. It thinks that it can control its life. This is not something that we can rationalize and put a word on it, to have this understand this. Because this thinks that it's this. This thinks that it's this. This is this. This ego character is separate. It gives the illusion that it's separate from this and this. This tries to control this. This tries to control this. This thinks that it's this through the mechanism. When the very first thing that I told you, I said what? Where did I write it down? Is there a problem?
No.
You have all those things. that baggage, the baggage. And you did too, just some is more heavier than others. And the only way for me to say that is because I know that, I recognize that. I get it. So what was the very first thing, I don't know if you were out there, before we started, was what? Jake, it might have been just you, Dylan, you might have left, and we were out there on the porch after the scent lodge. What did I say? Did you guys hear me what I said? It's heavy. Because screenshots of this come in, screenshots of this come in. Are they mine? I don't know. I don't remember. What do we do? Observe. And do what? Trust. Trust? Trust. What is trust? Surrender. Allow. Allow what?
Let it be.
Because is it a problem? It's not a fucking problem. Because once again, this character wants to do what? Feel safe, survive, fear of what? Death. And we do all these fucking things that we've been told 40 some years, habit, this and this and this. That's what it is. Some may not feel more heavier than others because maybe the void is this, well, I'm good. Some people call it spiritual bypass. There's just a whole lot of terms for it. But truly, it's separation. It's this, thinking that it's this.
So hang on here. This is where I'm confused. You're saying this thinks that it's this, but to me, this thinks that it's this, when this is your true self, the being. So why would the being, the soul, think that it's this when it already knows what it is?
Because
he already knows who he is.
I got you.
This is trying to be that.
Right.
I'm trying to convince this that.
Understand. I get it. This needs this separation to identify this.
What do you mean separation?
If this knew that it was this the whole time, then it wouldn't identify with this. This recognizes itself. It needs this to recognize itself. Meaning it needs this character to actually learn. Because if I told you that, and you knew, you came here in this school and you knew that you were this, wouldn't this be easy?
Okay, I see.
You wouldn't give a shit about anything.
All right, I see your point there.
Okay.
I got you.
This needs this to
understand
recognize
what truly he is here.
it is, not he. This is not a he.
Well, yeah, whatever. The
People, right?
Right.
Religion puts
I
a
get it.
he on, okay? But once again, okay, because the mind wants to know.
right.
Say that again, you got in case the big guy gets upset.
I just want to go back to the house of nothingness.
Yeah, I said I got this in case the big guy gets upset. But it's like, which one though?
Spaghetti
You got
night.
Russian, you got me, this guy.
And then you got the sensei behind you that kind of instigates one. All right. When you go home and you have this reality that everything that you're doing, thinking, hoping, practicing is in a form of this, and maybe we can slowly just take out some things, or you go all in. If you want to go all in, you probably want to move here for about a year, 2 years, and we can make something happen. I'll put a 8-foot fence with some barbed wire on it so that way you can't leave. Get naked, call spaghetti, things like that. Okay, we're all of this that you tried to do in this state, when there's pressure, when there's force, when there's this and this and this, becomes what? Unstable. as opposed to the more of this that you have, the less what you have. The more of that, which would be intuition, but I call it knowing. Intelligence without what? Information. Well, somebody told me this when I was a dog guy. When I was, they just told me to do this. Guys are doing that shit, and they're just saying it because science said it. Science is a part of this. Science is justification within itself, which is still the character. Well, I need proof. Who? I. Oh, what? This I? No. Well, this. Well, wait a minute. Well, this doesn't. Shit. That control supersedes this. So all these things I start doing with the active shooter, all these small little comments that I get, shoom, 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 this and this and this. Next thing you know, dog is what? Confused. This is gone. Therefore, we have confusion. It's not the fact that the dog was biting the wrong, doing this, but it was not doing all the things because all the teachings. But I'm just trying to say is how much this you have, less this you have. If this doesn't recognize that, if this recognizes that, 70%, 30%, 60%, 100% truly discover, that's still a huge step forward to mankind. I'll tell you that. I'm not trying to sell a canine doing all this. I'm not trying to sell shit. I'm not trying to promote a future for people. Set a future and be like, oh, my dogs can just do this. It's like, no. I'm not trying to convince you to buy an active shooter canine or convince you to come here to bubble up some shit to the surface and help me look at your dog. I'm not trying to asking anybody to do that. I'm not selling anything. I just want you to look for yourself, discover yourself.